Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for the new moon in Libra chart. I was halfway through doing the other reading until I realized, wait a minute, October 20th. October, which is occurring on October 6, 2021, 7 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary. So it's the new moon in Libra, and normally, that's all about the harmony. We want to have harmony. We want to have, it's a good time for partners. It's all tied in with the 7th house and Venus. 7th house, Libra, Venus, all same energy. So, it's all, and we've got all this nice energy there. We've got the sun, moon, part of fortune, and Mars, all exactly at this 13 degrees. And then we've got also in the sign of Libra is the Mercury over here. But look at these 13s, 13, 13, 13, talk about those repeating numbers from the universe. What I question the guides about that, about 1111 and these different things, they say that you're kind of caught in I don't know if they called it a loop, but it's not just here, it goes on forever. That 1111 goes on forever, but we were just catching a little glimpse of these numeric, energetic strain, like threads or something. I have to go back and reread it myself, what they said, but it's pretty cool when that does show up there, 13, 13, 13, 13. And then of course we're in October, and 13's like the witching number and all this kind of stuff, so it's kind of magical. It's definitely got some magical connotations to it. So the full moon in Libra, we want to, it's a good time to come out about and have discussions and be open because it's also trining the Saturn, and I believe it's trining something else down here, all the series, yeah. We've got a grand trine in air, but it's also, in a loose orb trine with the North Node here. So a lot of air energy. Air is communication, it's the mind, it's thoughts and minds. It's a good time to do that kind of work, no matter where you're at in your, spiritual growth. If you're just like, maybe you're trying to get along with people better, or you want to have a conversation and maybe come to some kind of a term or agreement in a very 3D way, you can absolutely do that. But in another way, it could be, the whole thing of the mind and the ego, and telling the mind, kind of getting a hold of that mind and from your higher spiritual connected place, and kind of, not letting the mind go run amok. That could be it could be too much air, too much emphasis, and then Jupiter's in Aquarius too, so there's a lot of air energy, and Jupiter always really emphasizes. So, that it could be too much. It could just let your mind just kind of go crazy. The other big thing that's going on, Mars is conjunct it, ruled by Aries, and we've got the Chiron in Aries over here. This whole thing is opposing the Chiron. So that's where, that comes in, that the universe may want us to really do there's an opportunity. The universe is showing us that it's not what they want us to do necessarily, because we have free will, but there's always an opportunity to do some high spiritual work, to do some big time healing stuff through ourselves, Aries, first house energy, but in, this, everything's a reflection. This is the 7th house, is the reflection of yourself back to you in the first house here. So, what are we talking about? What are the things that are coming up? How is that, the way that a lot of this work is done, that kind of spiritual with the mirroring stuff, it's just kind of like, well, whatever annoys you in somebody else, then that's you. That's something that's within you, and it's something you need to work on within yourself. And that's in a real simplistic way, and a real, that's the short answer, I guess. But bringing it back to you, but it's not bringing it back to you in a punishing way, like, oh yeah, like the way I just stated it, something is annoying, or somebody's doing something, irritating. Look at yourself, because you're probably it's coming to your attention because it's something within you as well. But it's not like, you're doing it too, you're an a-hole too, or whatever. It's not to point the finger. It's more to just always, the Aries energy is so fresh and raw, it's in its most positive form, It's going to be really fresh and raw and excited about life and excited about doing things. And Libra,
that's why Aries and Libra are such a good match, because Libra's like, yeah, that sounds like fun. I'm in. Libra's down. Libra's game. Libra's like, Libra energy is a joint. Libras are joiners. They'll join in.
You know, the Aries will initiate, and then the Libra will join in and try to make, you know, even if it's not, then you get, you know, some event, say, you know, so yeah, invite you to an event or whatnot. And you get there and it's like, you know, this really isn't my scene anymore. And maybe, you know, it's not my scene. Libra's not going to be, Libra will still just, you know, they'll be nice. They'll chat. They'll talk. They'll try to make the best of it. Try to have a good time. So there's that congeniality, you know, there's that congeniality kind of vibe that Libra brings to the table as well. And there's so much Libra. You know, the part of fortune is smack dab right in the middle of it. So there's something to be said for that. There's a benefit that could come from this social, this being in partnerships, being, you know, with people, you know, and being cooperative. Cooperation, that's another big Libra word, you know, let's be cooperative. Where Aries may try to go through with brute force, you know, and just because I'm so fiery, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to break down the door with my big horns here, you know, I'm going to bust my way in. Libra's like, well, let's not bust down the door over here. Let's have a chat. Let's go out and have, you know, have a drink, or let's go, you know, do some kind of Venusian kind of a thing. Let's make art together or music together, and, you know, we can come together. It's amazing to me when all this political stuff over the last couple of years, you know, came up, how many of my musician friends that are really, I guess I just assumed that all musicians were pretty liberal because they were musicians, you know, but people I've known for years that are, you know, cool. I mean, we always got along. I guess we never discussed politics. That's probably why we always got along. This is not the time to discuss politics. I guess what they're showing me, that the musician stuff, I think this is a time to remember why you fell in love with that person or why you were friends with them in the first place. It's not the time to, I'm right, you know, I'm going to ram my opinion down your throat with this Aries energy. And certainly with the Chiron there, you know. Chiron is definitely trying to pull, it's not really that compatible because it's really trying to rein, like, come on, Aries. Let's just, you know, it's always going to be like work on yourself, you know, and it's not work on yourself in a bad way or always trying to punish yourself, you know. We live in this punishing society, you know. There's always this realm of this punishment. And this thing is trining with the Saturn here too, and that brings about that kind of punishment energy, you know. It's not about punishing. It's about trying to do better all the time. You know, and think of Aries, because Aries can be very childlike. You know, there's a difference between childlike and childish. Childlike is wonderful. It's awesome. It's like the Fool card in the tarot. You know, you're just open and, you know, like a little kid. And would you, you know, you don't want to squelch that little kid's dreams. But like if a little kid gets fixated on something, you're like, come on, let's go do this other thing. So that's how you can treat your ego and your more, your egoic nature, or, and we all have it, you know, we're all in a human form, so we all have it. Or this irritation, aggravation, or wanting to push, or, you know, be aggressive, you know, that aggressive kind of vibe, you know, you can just direct it. Come on, let's go do something over here. You know, redirect that that ego over to something where it can be productive. You know, because what could the ego do that could be really productive? You know, there's a lot of things. Ambitious. You know, Aries is ambitious. Aries has, it's very physical, you know. So it's like that's why, you know, one of the best ways with Aries, if you're feeling this aggravation, and the Aries-Mars energy is always, you know, sexual release. You know, because it's physical, or just go work out. You know, there's a physical thing that needs to be discharged, and it doesn't have to be discharged in, you know, anger and aggression, and that's what the Libra energy is coming through with and really showing, I believe. Let's take a look. I was reading the wrong chart. I don't know if I mentioned that at first. I was. It's just conjunct, because it's this big stellium over here. What do we got here, though? Mercury squared Pluto. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yeah, that could be a little bit, yeah, it's up here in the 20 degrees areas here. Yeah, Mercury squaring up with Pluto, and that can be a little bit, that can be where there is challenges in that way, because Pluto, Pluto is death and rebirth, but you have to remember Pluto, too, can be like all or nothing. Like Libra is all about let's compromise. Let's find a happy medium. Let's find that compromise. Pluto's like, no, give me liberty or give me death. You know, Pluto can be very dramatic that way. So approach with a Librian, is that even a thing? A Venusian, which is Libra. A Venusian approach, you know, is how you win friends and influence people or something, whatever that, I'm not quite getting it right, but that's definitely what's coming through. The other thing is, there's a sextile from Venus to Pluto, pretty tight sextile here. And this is, you know, Venus in Scorpio Scorpio rules Pluto, of course. So it's bringing that, it's, you know, Scorpio, Pluto, 8th house. So it's bringing that scorpionic, it's you know, amplifying, or there's more of the scorpionic energy that's coming forward through this in a sextile, though. So again, it's saying we can approach with love, and Venus in Scorpio knows how to approach Pluto and let's approach with love. Because, you know, maybe the Pluto energy isn't going to, you know, doesn't respond well to this, oh, everything is beautiful vibe that, you know, the Libra can bring. Pluto can be, Pluto and Capricorn, Scorpio and Capricorn can be a little bit more pragmatic or even harsh, you know, like shut that crap down, you know. So Venus, while it's not happy in Scorpio either, it's not its natural happy place, but it being there, it can talk to Pluto. It can talk to, there can be a medium language that they both, because this energy might think that this is too harsh and too authoritarian, too cold even. And this might think, oh, you're living in a cloud, let's get real, get reality. So sometimes that's not, you know, that's where that square would happen. It's just these different points of view and different outlooks of life. But with the Venus in Scorpio, Venus being the ruler of Libra, Venus can, it's almost like you could think of it as a married couple even, you know, in the old paradigm, 1950s or whatever, you know, or maybe today even, but, you know, the kids are all like, hey, can we go to this, we want to go to this amusement park or whatever. And Pluto's like, no way, you know, Dad's like, forget it, it's too expensive, or this or that, or blah, 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 not going to happen. And then this is Mom saying, wait a minute. Don't say anything more. Let me talk to him. You know, that's what this feels like. I'll talk to him later. And she knows how to get over on him and how to, you know, she's been working with him for a long time, so she knows how to get what she wants. So, you know, this is an ally. This is an ally, and this is a doorway to us getting what we want or moving. Because this Pluto energy, I'm just hearing the moving, what they just told me was the moving of immovable objects. That's what came through from the guides. So Venus can come through and help with that moving of these immovable objects. Venus is also in trine with Neptune, and Pluto's trining Neptune. So there's that little bit of magic, you know. That little bit of spark, that little bit of magic can absolutely happen. Don't be, you know, Venus is up for it too, by raising our vibration in the Venusian way, you know. Things that may have seemed real set in stone or really stern, there could be a little magic that could creep in. And they're saying everyone could be touched by magic during this magical time. That's what I'm getting from the guides. So I don't know if it's necessarily right at this full moon, but they say stuff like that all the time about everything. And here we go. So we've got the 13, 13, 13, 13. And here we go again. 13 of Uranus in that inconjunct, or that adjustment. I wanted, what I was trying to say was maneuver. Well, that's what wanted to come out of my mouth. This adjustment maneuver. So maybe that's for somebody specific out there. You might need to make an adjustment maneuver. Even this, you know, trying to move the immovable beast, an adjustment maneuver. And you might be totally surprised, you know, like let's continue with the amusement park scenario, you know, it's just like, well, we're going to ask, but we know Dad's going to say no, it's never going to happen. You never know. This adjustment maneuver, Uranus, anything could happen. Anything could happen, and probably will, with Uranian energy being involved. But definitely because of the aspect and adjustment needs to be made. The Jupiter is also involved in this in a exact trine to the Mercury too. So you could really, you could find this is 11th house stuff here, and this, you could really find, two things could happen. If you could find your tribe, the bigger tribe area here with this 11th house, by maybe, talking to somebody or signing up for something new online, some kind of a seminar class or something. You could kind of find your tribe. But also if it's the other way around, because Libra, this is the time of love, with all this Libra energy. If you're looking for a partner, you might find this partner that you're seeking, your love match partner, through this bigger conglomeration or this bigger group or this bigger sea of belonging is what they're saying. Okay. Our girl Lilith is here in Taurus too, and she's opposing Venus too. Lilith wants a female empowerment, and opposing Venus in Scorpio. This could definitely be some kind of big female empowerment stuff coming up, Me Too, or the different things that have been popping up here lately in the the media. There could be another big thing showing up at this time for sure, because there's things that have to be healed, with the Chiron and Aries so heavily involved here too. So in order to heal them, we have to see them, we have to hear about them, we have to know about it, we have to become aware of it, And sometimes the Aries way of, making people aware isn't the most, catching the bees with honey thing, or sugar, or flies with sugar, whatever it is, they come across, in the vinegar end of the spectrum. But with all this Libra and all this nice trining energy going on everywhere, I believe that, the point can get across, and people can have compassion and, be empathic towards other people's, understand other people's, where they're coming from, and not just want what me, myself, and I, push energy. More of can we find a compromise? Let's make an adjustment. Let's bring in old Venus energy over here, Venus and Scorpio. I wanted to say Mata Hari, and I know that Mata Hari was a spy, and a famous spy in one of the world wars or something in Europe. But this came across as Mata Hari, so I don't know if anybody knows. Is that like a saying? Who's the guy who betrayed everybody? When they call somebody a Benedict Arnold, it means that they're a betrayer, or Florence Nightingale, it means that they're a healer. Is there some kind of now I've already forgot the name of whoever I came across there. Mata Hari. Is there some kind of reference, or does that mean anything to anybody? Is that something? Well, maybe you got to bring in a spy for somebody. I don't know. Use the feminine wild. They're saying I said use your, and they corrected me, and they said use the feminine wilds, which are available to one and all. That's what the guides are coming through with. So it's not just, you don't have to be in a female form to use this this feminine energy. They have a lot of really interesting stuff that they come through with about the male and female energy. It's real interesting. I don't want to go into all of it right here, but it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Okay, so Neptune is there, and then we also have Palette. Neptune is opposing, or not opposing, in conjunct thing here. So what do we got? We got a Yod? Do we got a Yod? I think we do. This is that same Yod with the Mercury, but this time it's more with Lilith. So we got, it was in the Ingress. We got Neptune, Lilith, and Uranus, and then over here to the Mercury. The Mercury this came to me in the about the astrology, that this Mercury's been so prominent in so many for a long time. Prior to the Ingress, there's all this stuff going on. In the Ingress chart, it was very prominent. It's really prominent here. It's in the Grand Trine. It's in the Yod. And where is the North Node at this time? The North Node is in Gemini, which Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So the Mercury and the nodes are coming down to where they're going to be changing signs here pretty soon. I should see when that is. I forgot to check on that. So the nodes, I feel that it's just like with a regular planetary transit, that when they get to those low degrees, the zeros and the ones and the twos, and then when you get to the 28s and 29s, that's when they are really at their most intense and the most energy is really, it really amplifies it. And then also the Mercury, the ruler of it, is being, you know, so the Gemini energy could be a lot more explored just for everything in general. When is that changing? I thought it was right around the first of the year. Yeah, it is. It's like February, because Jupiter is going to change too. But still, it's down at this most powerful place. So before it leaves, before the nodes leave the signs of the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius, they're really pushing that, their lessons, because there's always lessons to learn with these nodal transits, as well as through your natal nodes, of course. So they're really pushing that lesson through. They really want us to really get it. So what has been going on for you? What is the message that you're trying to get since they went in? Let's see when they went in. A couple of years ago. When was it? Yeah, it would have been, it was back in May of 2020. So back in, from between the time of May in 2020 and the end of this year, it's really encapsulating the lessons and the knowledge and the trying to steer our path. The nodes are always like trying to steer our path towards our highest good. And it's also the South Node, of course. It brings in past lives and stuff like that. So between May of 2020, well, I guess that's about when the pandemic started, isn't it? I mean, duh, hello. Is it really been that? Has it been Gemini the whole time? Let me just double check that. I don't want to give out wrong information here. Yeah, it was. It was May of 2020. So it was. This is interesting because it was April of 2020 that, to my recollection, when it really hit the worldwide stage. Just before that, and then that's when it was at 2 degrees, 1 degree, 0 degrees of Cancer. And I think of Cancer as somewhat of a healing, definitely a healing, because it's the mother and the nurturer. So what we've got to do here, what we're trying to do then on a grander scale is, you know, in a nutshell would be to just adjust our mental things. And that could be, you know, what we think and where we get our information from. Definitely that is definitely Mercury, the information. But also, it's coming to the forefront so much now in a lot of the New Age, or whatever you want to call it, spiritual teachers, about, you know, this mind, the monkey mind, getting control of that monkey mind, not believing let the monkey mind run amok, you know. So that's a big lesson that's trying to be pushed home, and I feel like that there's going to be more to come. Like, you know, there's going to be more things that are going to come up that are going to be triggering to people, you know, over the next few months, I would say. And more things that are going to come up that are going to be triggering, and also that could, you know, could cause conflict and opposition. This Libra, as we kick off into the Libra season, and just like with the ingress chart, it lasts for the next few months. This Libra season, we have a choice to tip the scales. The scale, because Libra is the scales, right? We have the choice to tip the scales and tip it more towards, you know, compromise, understanding, respect, just being respectful and courteous to one another. You know, those are the best, some of the best qualities, or the best expressions, or the highest expression of the, you know, the Libra energy. We have an opportunity to set this intention, to tip these scales, to go in the direction to err to the side of grace. Yeah, err to the side of grace. That is good. I like that. I'm going to write that down. I might even put it in the title. Err to the side of grace. Absolutely. That's perfect. All right. So, yeah, this is the chart. I am, as far as astrology readings, I'm not offering any astrology readings at the moment, but I am offering the year ahead, which I do look at all the transits. I've already got all the big planetary transits mapped out and the eclipses coming up. So we look at all that, astrology, and then we do 4 rows of cards for the 4 months of the year, and we do an animal totem. So it's always my most popular reading. I'm opening up a little early because I want to just get a jump on it, so I'm not completely overwhelmed in December. But there is, if you do, you know, lean more towards astrology, I do offer a astrology reading of the soul reading, which is looking at all your past lives and your karma and stuff like that. Also, don't forget, if you like the stuff from the guides that come through, my new book is out, Transmissions for Humanity Book 2 is out and available on Amazon. You can find all the links to that below. But yeah, Air to the Side of Grace. I love that. I want to, maybe I'll make a t-shirt of that even. I love it so much. But anyway, hey everybody, if you enjoy my content, please do hit that like and subscribe. That makes a world of difference with the YouTube algorithm. I am one of the OG people. I'm not the original YouTube astrologer, but there was a few before me, but I've been around a long time doing the astrology, and I was the original YouTube tarot reader, which it's just crazy how many tarot readers are out there. But, you know, it was an idea whose time had come. I just got to look at it that way. And, you know, now I'm moving on and doing more channeling, so hopefully if I err to the side of grace, grace will respond in kind and open my path up to me. So that's where I'm doing. That's where my head's at. That's where my Gemini brain and my head's at. Tries to be the majority of the time. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best this is a new moon, right? Yeah, the best new moon in Libra. And let's set that intention. Let's tip those scales. All right, everybody. Have a great one. Talk to you again soon. Bye.